it's not that cold. But with the wind chill, it feels colder than it is. Saturday, it's the end of October, and we're scrambling to get stuff done before the snow falls. We're in full-blown fall mode. Temps have been chilly. Evenings, it's been below freezing. And during the day, we've been lucky if it's been getting into the 50s, even low 60s. I owe you guys some updates. Last episode, I just flown back from Dallas, back to Reno. And just like that, it snowed while I was gone. And I had the better half of a day to hit Home Depot, load up Mark's truck, and get all the supplies I wanted to get. This is my first time making a fence, so I was shocked when I came to learn what I actually needed in the fencing department. Okay. Yeah. Snowball. It's the world's tiniest snowball. I go away for 4 days to Dallas where it's 95 degrees, and I come back and then there's snow. Typical mammoth. Came back from Reno last night, and I stopped at the Carson City large hardware store, namely Home Depot, and I got stuff to make a fence. So the goal here is to put up a fence along that back perimeter. So there's a good 40 feet there. I also invested finally in some decent gloves. Firm grip. They were like 25 bucks at Home Depot, but I'm so sick of blisters. This one's finally healed up so I can go back to working on the wood. But yeah, my hands are worked. Whew. It's not that the beams are heavy, but they're really awkward. Really? Yeah, the beams are awkward. But unloaded them. Did it all by myself. This is just the beginning of the fence situation. So basically we're just gonna lay 40 feet of posts, and then I'm gonna have to go back to get more wood. The good news is when you have a shanty town, you can paint inside the house and not care about it. I know I'm kind of going on and on about the fencing thing, but this is slightly significant because usually I leave all the heavy lifting and grunt work to Mark. I decreed that I would take on this fencing project on my own. Although he offered to help, I declined, and I was like, oh, I can unload it all myself and I can kind of do it all myself. Ultimately, when it comes to actually building the fence, obviously I'm gonna use Mark's help, because usually I say I'm gonna do stuff and then I kind of like don't really do it. I'm great with false promises when it comes to heavy lifting and, you know, labor intensive projects. So my goal at a minimum was to at least prep all the beams. I've been preserving or adding a wood protectant to them. And then once the posts are ready to go, we'll just store them for the winter with all the cement and other stuff, and we'll check back in the spring. So updates on the table. I have to apologize because I went ahead and put a couple coats of resin on it without filming. If you've ever worked with resin, you know that there's environmental factors play a huge part in your success. So we had 2 days that were warmer, like in the high 50s, even into the 60s, kind of in the late afternoon. So ideally, you have to get the resin coat to sit for 2 hours above 55 degrees. So I went ahead and I just like boogied it. So this is after one coat of resin. This is the first coat. Oh, and that is a really strong smell. Hence for the mask. So one coat of resin. Hopefully I mixed it properly, but you never know. Over here I started to get the clumpiness going on. I mixed a couple of really small batches and went nice and slow, and I was doing great. And then of course I got overconfident. So this side came out really nicely, and then I mixed a bigger batch so I could cover more ground faster. And you can kind of see I got the old white lumps going on. So that's a bummer, but that's my fault. What I didn't tell you though was that I went ahead and flipped it over, planed the underside, you know, I hand planed it like I did the top, and wanted to use this as a test because I just worked so hard on that other side. I didn't want it to get ruined with the resin, so I'm really happy with the result. I think it's going to come out really good. The other thing I was really worried about was, you know, here in the fall, working with the resin. I was worried that it wouldn't dry, so it'll be interesting to see. Let's check. The thin stuff is totally cured. A little bit worried about where I laid it on thick, but right now it's probably around 60 degrees right here, and where those chainsaw marks are, I tried not to go too heavy with it because I was just hoping it would cure. So we'll see. The sun's helping. The sun's helping a lot. Just worried about that little shadow spot, but can't move it myself, so we'll just wait and see. So yeah, I was really happy with the results, and I'm hoping that we have a couple more decent days so I can do the top part of the table and have that actually done. And then my final project is improving the aesthetics of, well, shall I say, our final project that we're working on before winter is improving the general aesthetics of the property. So next for updates here, the entire property is clear. We have the beautiful fall trees. So everyone's been hard at work. Mostly work, very little filming. But this is Mark's, this has been his task. He took this dilapidated, literally the shed, the roof was falling in. It's not safe, but it's good enough. Safe enough for Mark. Wouldn't let kids come play in here. These are the appliances from the kitchen. Mark ripped the kitchen out. And then we got just a nice little area. Anyone interested in a refrigerator or two and a really nice oven microwave combo?
Automatic cooking.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything.
Freebie.
You just put stuff in there and
it's all yours. Just come and get it. Let's quickly take a peek inside the trailer. So I did pretty good with my painting project. I almost finished the fence posts, but then I got back to the table and one thing led to another, and I'll return tomorrow. So Mark ripped out the kitchen. It smells less of pee in here and more of wood protectant, which is kind of nice. I think I'd rather smell chemical than smell pee. So Mark ripped out all those appliances that I just showed you, and yeah, it's ready. Blank canvas. There's a couple of rat droppings we need to get rid of, but besides that, we're winning. Got a sink, some rat turds. Good times, good times. I talked about painting the trailer. There's some prep work I still have to do, and again, I don't think I'm gonna get it done before winter. It's just a lot of stuff to do. But what I am working on right now is, since I'm using that Preserva for the wood, I'm using that to coat the entire roof structure and the beams there. I gotta get the tallest ladder we got, break it out. But you can see the wood preserver brings out some nice color. And you can see right there on the door, this little section right here. Need a taller ladder. You can see I just painted that one post right there. You can kind of see the difference. Obviously I just got to as far as I could reach on a couple of those beams just to see how it would turn out. We've been not so lucky with the weather. There's been a couple of really nice days, but a lot of these days have just been like freezing cold and super windy. But fingers crossed. Pray for good weather before the winter comes. And Mark's wondering why I want to get rid of the shed. He's like, we should keep it. Let's give it a little muscle. Pull. Is that it for the winter? The door's closing for the winter? Oh. Ah, off the track. I'm sure the raccoons are pretty upset about the fact that you took their house, cleaned it out. Yeah? Good? Happy?